Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome and thanks for joining me. Whether you're watching on Facebook or you're catching the replay on YouTube, I'm so happy you're here. I'm Nan and I help people slow down, get creative, and stay connected, whether that's crafting together or you sending a handmade card that means something. All right, grab your favorite beverage. Get ready to learn about some of the products that I use. Okay, so tonight I am showcasing the Forever Florals bundle. And it is more versatile, I think, than you'll think, because you see this and you think, flowers, pretty. I've got some surprises in store for you, I think. So we're going to start. Oh, I got my M&Ms. Everybody got your M&Ms? M&Ms are kind of something that is associated with me to anybody that has stamped with me for a while, because anybody my age knows that M&Ms melt in your mouth, not in your hands. And I'm a chocoholic. So these are the perfect chocolates to have when you're paper crafting because they won't melt all over your cards. So it's very important to have M&Ms nearby. All right, let's start with a straightforward, very simple card. This is just stamps, ink, and paper. So one of the things I love about this stamp set is it's got so many opportunities for two-step stamping. So you've got your leaves here, and then I added my flowers to the tops, right? We've got our little leaf thing here. Awesome, awesome things. Also, there is a combo of sentiments that's meant for the outside and the inside of your card. So that's a nice thing too. We always love it when there's inside greetings as well. The other thing I believe I noted on my last video about this one is these little lines here are the veins for these leaves, and this is the veins for these leaves. And these little random, seemingly random dots are actually the centers for these flowers. Now you can absolutely use them as just a speckled pattern, but if you want to add a different color to your flower centers, these are perfectly lined up to do that. I love how Stampin' Up! Just coordinates things so well. Makes my job so much easier. So yes, literally 2 ink pads, 1 color cardstock plus white, and you are good to go on this gorgeous card, right? Who wouldn't love to get that? Okay, so next I added some designer paper. I just got some of this in. This is the Delicate Designs hat. So we have, it all features copper metallic, so very pretty floral, right? They are one-sided. And then we have this leafy one that is fabulous. Copper is probably my favorite metallic, so I was all over this paper. And then this one, which is a fabulous grid plaid situation, and that is what I used on my next card to keep it from being too frilly, right? So I paired that beautiful copper with Night of Navy and just our big sentiment. That's another thing I love about the stamp set. Not only are the fonts gorgeous, but the sentiments are rather on the large size. They're not like bold and thick. They're very pretty and thin, but they're large. So they can really hold their own as a focal image. So just a little strip of the navy cardstock, the navy label with a white label. So again, another pretty simple card. Very easy, but that copper really packs a punch, doesn't it? So this one is, it kind of leans more masculine or gender neutral, which we always, I think, have trouble coming up with, because I think most of our craft rooms are filled with florals, right? So let's see. So next, all right, let's concentrate on the dies. So let me show you. Here are the dies that come with this bundle. I will show you the full size. So these label dies are absolutely fabulous. And I grabbed this kind of longer, skinnier one and made the perfect background for, again, a kind of a neutral card. This could go to absolutely anybody, right? And you'll notice that I did do some embossing on some of those pieces and then just stamped right on one of them. So super simple. Again, pretty much stamps, ink, and cardstock, and then you can add the embossing if you want as well. So yeah, don't ever forget about your dies and don't feel like you can't just use them. I love those kinds of shapes where you can make great backgrounds out of just those dies, and then, just put your focal point on it and you're done. Okay. I've got another kind of less girly, a little more gender neutral for you. This one features more fall and neutral colors. Again, we're making those sentiments, just that star on just a single label. And then I've just used all the leaves. So there's a couple, you've got the 2 stamped leaves, and then you also have a die for just cutting out leaves. And it has the little vein detail in it. So I added those as well. So you've got some stamped and some just cut out of cardstock. And again, that embossed background. That's the exposed brick. Absolutely love that folder. So again, really, really fun, really, really simple. You can have a bunch of these leaves, like while you're watching your favorite TV show. You can just do some stamping or some die cutting, have those in a little container, and then just start putting these together anytime. So really helpful. All right. Let me show you how impressive this big die is. So this is our main attraction, right? That is a big honkin' die, and it's very detailed. So I do recommend using adhesive sheets with it. Otherwise, you're going to have to, dot your liquid glue all over there. I did run this through with adhesive sheets. It's lovely when I remember. And when you do a detailed die like this, I always recommend that you run it through your die cut machine, and then before you take it out, run it back through and then back through again. I say 3 or 4 times. You kind of can't overrun it. So, but it helps to get all of these little details out of there much easier. And especially if you've got it on adhesive sheets, that basically adds another layer that you're trying to cut through. So it just makes everything a little easier. Got that beautiful in color cloud cover behind there and the ribbon to match. And then I went ahead and did some silver embossing on that sentiment. Again, gorgeous little wedding card, right? Or a wedding shower, anything like that. Anniversary card as well. And then just a big circle punch for the center of that. Love it. Okay. And the last one is the other floral die. It is this one. It kind of looks like a big bouquet, right? So let me show you what I did with that. Got a little extra. So again, I ran this one because it's very detailed. I ran it through three or 4 times. I don't remember. And you'll notice that it did cut through all of those little spots, right? But it's not just coming out very easily. So I don't know if I've ever used this on camera, but this is one of the attachments for our Take Your Pick tool. It's called the die brush. And what you'll do is you will take off your little putty tip that comes with it. You can screw that into the end of your Take Your Pick tool. And it comes with this little, it's just like a foam mat. You just place your die on there, and then you can just run that die brush over your die, and it gets into all those little crevices, and it also gets into the little extraction holes. So it'll help the die cut cardstock come out, and it'll help get all of those little extra pieces out, right? So now we should be able to grab an edge somewhere. Sometimes with these more delicate ones, it's easier to kind of do this while you're holding it. See, and now you've got one out. So then the other thing with these really delicate ones is you want to just pull very gently so that you don't rip all of your hard work, right? So a lot of times I don't even get my little foam mat out. I just go at these with the die brush while I'm holding them. So if you want to just do that, you can. So now what I did, because you're like, okay, you've got white and it's flowers and leaves. So what I decided to do was just color in my own flowers and leaves. And I decided to do this on camera because it was actually pretty quick to do. And I thought you might not believe me if I didn't show you. So I'm not doing any shading with the blends. I'm just going over the flowers, and then I'll go over the leaves and the stems afterwards. And I didn't worry about getting super duper detailed, like that kind of looks more like the flower instead of the leaf. Obviously, when you get to the outside, the flowers and the leaves are right next to each other. So, but the blends do kind of, bleed into the rest of the cardstock there. So it's pretty quick to color, and you're not like really going over too much. And I actually did my leaves first, and then after I did my flowers, I discovered some more stems that I didn't get. So this time I'm trying to do the flowers first, and we'll see if I can do the green in one go without missing anything. So again, this is one of those kinds of things too, because since I work a full-time job, I have, limited time for crafting. I want to spend time with my family. I have to do laundry and all that kind of stuff, right? So I tend to not make something this detailed too often, but it's nice when you're looking for something a little special, or you just want to have a play and see like, oh, what can I do with this? Which is exactly how this came about. Because I thought, how do I make this two-toned if it's one dye? So, and you absolutely could cut this dye out of two different colors of cardstock, one green, one purple, say, and then just trim off the leaves from one and mount it on top of the green, right? So the green leaves would peek out, and the purple would just be another layer. So that's another alternative. I just thought of that now. Otherwise, I would have had that to show you. So this is how quickly really this comes together. And again, that's one of those things you could do perhaps if you had a bunch you wanted to do. You could do that while watching TV or chatting with a friend over coffee, all that kinds of stuff. So these are especially nice when I'm doing like a craft night. I have a group that I meet with once a month, and we just bring whatever we're working on, and then we chat up a storm. And I tend to not get a lot done because I'm chatting too much. And those of you that know me are not surprised. But something like this would be great if I pre-die cut all of them and just brought my blends, and then I could just be coloring while I was chatting, and I feel like I would get that done. So let me show you what I made with this. I cut out some more of those other leaves to kind of extend it a little bit. I embossed the background with the stone and ivy. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this embossing folder. It's like probably my new favorite. But then I also took some of our white ribbon, and I just took two pieces and I cut it into three lengths, right? Lengthwise, and just stuck it under there. And so it kind of looks like a wedding bouquet to me. And then just added some white embellishments to some of the bigger flowers. So super fun, super detailed, not really that hard, right? So this bundle definitely has some versatility to it besides just flowers and just girly. Well, it does do that very well as well, right? So that is our sampling. My M&Ms are in the way. That is our sampling of all the cards that I came up with just for tonight's video. I'm sure I will come up with more. I've got to come up with at least 4 for this month's class, because this bundle is what we're featuring in this month's class, which is Friday, March 27th. The link is in the video description. So if you want to check that out, if you're in the Bloomington, Illinois area, go ahead and click that link. Spots are limited, so you do want to catch that pretty early to reserve your spot. All right. Well, thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. I'll put more details and links in Tuesday's email. If you're not signed up for that yet, you can go to stampernan.com and sign up for that email free. All right. And I will see you again soon. Happy stamping.